Okay, I'm at 12095 Deerhorn Drive in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is like Forest Park, Ohio. Doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. And we're looking for any structural issues, roof intrusion, anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Got a standoff on the front of the camera here, trying to remove it so we can get down this line. Now, a little strange, the way they have this run around. It looks like there may have been something wrong over here in the corner by the, maybe there was a fire from the washer or dryer or something. And they ran a line that runs over here and goes into this clean out. This is the only access. There's a clean out over there in a stack underneath the steps, but I can't get the cap out. I'm short of risking damaging the cast iron, just because of the way it's laid out. I'd have to chisel out the cap. If I chisel that cap out, I risk damaging the cast iron. So, I'm trying to see if we can get. Alright. So, the problem with this is, this line, the way it's set up is I can only go. This clean out has a sweep on it, and so what that means is it forces my camera to only be able to go downstream and not upstream, which means I'm unable to inspect the line under the floor in here because of lack of access. Most issues we do find are on the exterior. I will run some water in the kitchen. Well, the kitchen really, that's all exposed as it comes through here, so we'll at least try to run some water in the what do you call it? In the master bathroom and all that. After the cast iron, as soon as it leaves the house, it does switch over to concrete, which is a pretty good material. The concrete is, so it looks like it's concrete. I'm going to have to run some water anyway to be able to see what I'm looking at, because the camera got hazy when we try to put it in by getting all the goo off the bottom of the pipe. So I'm going to pause the video and go run some water. Okay, so we did some water running in the bathroom. That is coming over in the crawl space and going through the wall. So at least be able to make sure that that water's reaching here unobstructed. So this should get here pretty quickly. About 20 feet, and there we go. So, get that moving. The house is vacant, so it's going to take a minute for water to clear up. There we go. So this does look like concrete pipe. Stays clear. There's a little chunk of something. I believe this might be transom. anyway, we're turning. Bottom left-hand corner that the angle indicator shows what kind of pitch the line has on it. Good drop going on. A little bit of water here. Just like right at the depth, right at the main here. Yep, there. Looks like this has been lined. If you look, see the wrinkles in it. So the sewer main has been lined, but the this, you can see that there is still, just a little bit of water there because we've been running, but we can see up in front and see that there's no structural issues. We just went underwater for a second. And so what I may try to do is go through. I don't think I'm going to make it, but there's the open spot over there by the floor drain, where the stationary tub used to be hooked up. There's an open pipe over there. They ran it all the way over here. It used to be what was in the ground. And it came over to this, below ground, but they moved it, and they ran it all above ground for some reason. They probably had a log coming out of the kitchen sink. That's one of the most common things to have, especially with cast iron, is grease buildup. And that grease buildup causes a clog in the cast iron. Sometimes, if it happens a lot, some people will just try to bypass it. But it looks like there was an issue over there. Like I said, it kind of looks like a fire or something. This all looks wonderful. This is all in great shape. Inside, it's gone maybe a quarter to a third up the side of the pipe, and it's all as high as that water level ever gets. We are at the changeover from the cast iron into the concrete. We're coming close up to the clean out. Just to mention, with the cast iron in the house, I mentioned with the grease buildup, it's also because you can see how rough this gets and how rusty it is. And what that is, it's obviously just the rust of the cast iron. It's very common. It's what happens to it based off the nature of the material. And so what you want to just make sure that you're not using any wet wipes or anything, because they very easily catch on that rough interior of the pipe. And they can cause what's called soft clogs. Basically, it's like excessive toilet paper, wet wipes, paper towels, feminine products, anything that's really not supposed to go down there can cause backups. If it's just toilet paper will disintegrate in the water and just break down and go if it gets caught. Unless there's a large excess of it. But most of the time the big culprit is usually wet wipes, because they don't disintegrate like toilet paper. Even if they say flushable, they are not. And so I always try to mention that in my videos anytime I run into cast iron, because it is a big issue. All the way back out of the line. I didn't see any issues at all. Very, very good from here out to the main. I am going to try to go through this other little section. So I'm going to pause the video for a second and just to make an attempt at going through this other uncut or this cut off pipe over here. Okay, we are over here by that sink. We know that the line is open when the bathroom is over. It's coming through at the same speed it's going in, but I think this is where the concern is. Somebody bypassed the kitchen line coming down. I'm not sure what happened here. It looks like there may have been a fire of some sort. But at any rate, this line right here is what we're going to try to go through, just to see if we can get through it. I don't think I will. A lot of times these small lines like this are blocked up. Yeah. Well, looks like I've got some spiders in there. Yeah, this is just built up with a bunch of goo. I am able to get through it. But yeah, it's just too much goo. So that line may be open. You could probably clean that line out and reuse it. But looks like we just cut off what used to be the stack and where that used to go in, where that stationary tub used to go into that line. So you may be able to clean that line out. The main line for the sewer looks really good. I would just, and so there's no defects that I found at all from that clean out to the street. So all the stuff on the exterior looks wonderful. Again, like I mentioned before, I was unable to check about 15 to 20 feet on the interior because I just don't want to risk damaging that cast iron. I can't get the cap out, and so we already have other access points, and that's where. So that's obviously we go into the areas that we can gain access, and so we have obviously inspected the majority of the line and all the exterior stuff, and that looked really good with no defects. The interior line with the cast iron, as long as we weren't able to inspect it, but it is flowing and open, and so that's always a good sign. So if you just go by the use the normal materials and don't put anything you're not supposed to down the line, you should be good for a while to come. So that's going to end the inspection at 12095 Deerhorn Drive in Forest Park, Cincinnati, Ohio.